I love you.
Welcome back to the Couch Potatoes. Come on in, have a seat on the couch. Plenty of room, as always. I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I, taking up much more room, to be honest, am the Green Traveler from Gorsh. No, I'm not. That's who you are.
I mean, yeah. I could adopt you. I mean, it doesn't have legal standing on Gorsh, but
I am the Green Traveler from Gorsh's Faceless Leon.
Yeah.
Let's just do that again.
Mean, honestly, you could morph into me.
I can't.
Like, you have that ability.
Yeah.
We can paint you green. That's a little questionable.
We have to change the pigment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be green face, though?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we should
be
cross that
a little bit off. Unless when you eat stuff, you change colors. Does that happen sometimes?
No.
Anything make you green?
I do give off a different scent with certain foods.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
So you have pores. Interesting.
Well, yeah.
You're not just like all clay. Well, does clay have pores? I really don't know.
Yeah, it does. It's porous. Yeah.
It's porous. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's how it soaks up the moisture and how it dries out. Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
Well,
hot!
You know what's also hot? The Two Towers.
Yeah, that's right.
We're back.
We're
back, baby.
We are here to talk more about Elijah
Wood.
Wood.
Tinged, very dark movie.
Yes, that is true. But it's still great. I mean, we can't argue.
Yeah, I love it. I'm on the record as saying it's my favorite. I would clarify as saying it's my favorite adaptation of the three books.
Okay,
because it adapts. I mentioned in the first episode of our playlist in the Fellowship of the Ring, the book of the Two Towers is divided structurally. Part one of this book is the battle at Rohan, and Helm's Deep and all that. And then part two is Frodo and Sam's journey. So it's like you get all of Legolas, Aragorn, and everybody up front, and then you get complete fucking bored in the back half because I don't know. People might really like Frodo and Sam, but I get kind of bored by the journey.
Well, there's only two of them.
Yeah. And Gollum shows up, and
that's three.
I love Gollum.
You're right.
I do love Gollum, but it's still
It'll take a while.
I don't know. All my favorite characters are like Legolas, Aragorn, like Gandalf. They're all on the first half of that book. So when I get to the back half, I'm always just like, oh, okay. 10 pages a day, I'll eventually be at the Return of the King. The movie does a much better job at incorporating everybody's story. Frodo and Sam do kind of fade into the background, and when they pop back up, you are kind of like, oh yeah, that's right, you are here. I forgot that your story is important.
Trying to get to Mordor.
Yeah, but a lot of the time it's just Frodo doing something stupid, and then Gimli being like, "You're fucking stupid," and then Sam being like, "Hey, shut up, you," and that's about it.
Yeah, it's Gollum. But
oh yeah, I keep saying Gimli, Gollum. It's so hard.
Yeah, Gimli is busy falling in love with Legolas. Yeah.
They have similar names of the same height.
That's right.
I'm sorry.
It's true.
I'm so sorry.
One's covered in hair. Things. One has nary a hair.
No hair.
Yeah. So
Gimli.
Did.
Gimli. My precious.
Oh, fuck. All right, so we're gonna just jump right into the plot, I think, to the synopsis of this, because we talked a whole bunch about the Fellowship, and they are still our main characters, and we'll just talk about what characters come up as we're going. So, I kind of editing this, I realized that I kind of just like bulldozed through the summary in the last episode, but it was the latter half of the episode, and we hadn't really talking about what
that's
happened.
totally fair. So you saying you want me to bulldoze this time?
No,
I can try.
Well, you don't. I mean, I can help you. I just wanted to give you a chance to go first.
Okay. I will do my best, because I know it starts off with Aragorn breaking his foot, breaking a toe, kicking a helmet. That's everybody's favorite factoid to mention when they watch this movie. I say, like, every like male at a party, well, did you know during this scene? I had to do it too when we watched it. It's just so funny. It's a stereotype.
Yes.
But it definitely is true, because I've definitely watched this movie with thousands of different people, and they've all made that mention of that fact.
Mentions it.
Yeah.
And it
so
is
sometimes
true. Vigo, he kicked a helmet prop, and it broke his toe, and that's the take that they used.
Yeah, you get his legitimate scream of pain.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's very beautiful.
And you watch the movie, and it is definitely a scream of agony.
Yeah, you're like, give that man an Oscar.
Yeah,
Jesus.
for real.
My goodness. And
I'm sure
it's amazing
this movie got awards. They all got awards.
Right? Yeah. I don't remember which one. I know the next one won all the awards.
Right.
But I don't remember what this one won. I could look it up later, but
nominations are like semi-wins.
Yeah, exactly. But he's mad. Aragorn is mad because him, Legolas, and Gimli came across the Riders of the Rohirrim, who have been kind of banned right now from Rohan.
Right.
By their Mad King, who is possessed by the evil Saruman. Well, they in the book he's like just sad and depressed. Right. But the movie definitely is just like, nah, motherfucker's possessed. Like he's crazy.
So he's just depressed in the book, is what you're saying to me.
I mean, it might be implied that this is just one of the things I read in the differences.
I see.
And apparently in the books he is only depicted as depressed and deluded by Wormtongue.
Okay.
But I would assume it implies much more than that.
Sure. Diluted also, we don't know exactly. I mean, I haven't read the book personally, which I feel like makes me a bad fanboy, but that's okay. I still love this movie.
It's all right. We've tried to have a book. We did a book club. It got it sadly kind of petered away because of many outside issues.
Right.
But you would have succeeded in your proper checklist of the LOTR fan club.
We were almost there. Yeah. We were almost there. Yeah. We got like
it's not
2 chapters away from finishing the Fellowship.
Yeah. But honestly,
in the club.
Like someday
I finished.
Yeah. I mean, someday we will go. I would love to restart that and go back to it.
Yeah, it was nice.
But at the same time, I think you get everything you need from the movies. They're very loyal. There are many big differences, but for the most part, I think the differences are for the best. It's like... It's
a very cohesive world, and I think some things that are definitely in the book from just my experience of reading the first one is very fairy tale-esque, and I feel like...
Tom Bombadil,
Yeah, they wouldn't work as well in this... gritty's not quite the right term, but this definitely kicked off, all the gritty fantasies that we've had since then.
Like Game of Thrones and everything like that. Yeah. It doesn't have that realistic political atmosphere, but it definitely could if he wanted to go that route. He could have gotten rid of the Tom Bombadils and
you could have
the other.
Right. I feel like that there is a version of this where they could have gone into the politique a bit more. Especially when we watched the extended version and we got more of John Noble, because
yeah.
So in the theatrical version, Boromir is not in this movie, and not in any way that he is like giving anything new to the movie. It's just like rehash of the his dying scene and some other things. So Sean Bean actually is in this movie in a scene with his with Boromir's father. I can't remember his name. Denethor, played by John Noble, who is the steward of Gondor. And our favorite and beloved member of Friends. Yes, yeah, he is pretty great as Walter Bishop. I was going to call him Walter White, different Walter.
Can you imagine? I've been doing this recently where I've been thinking about, now that Doctor Who's back on television, if there was an Americanized version of Doctor Who, like I've been thinking of like certain actors and who they would play, and John Noble, it's like he would make a really good. Yeah. I mean, he's not American, but like, you know,
so he can just be Doctor Who. He can just be Doctor Who.
Well, he's Australian, so he still couldn't be the British's. British's.
I don't see why not. I'm pretty sure they're still in the Commonwealth.
Oh, that is fair. That's very fair. Yeah, so he could still be Doctor Who. Yeah. But he would also make a really good Master or any other kind of villain.
Ooh, that would be good. I'm sure he's probably in an episode of Doctor Who somewhere. He's been in the game for a while.
Oh my goodness, I'm sure. Yeah. But yeah, him as Denethor is great. Right. This character is so detestable. You know?
But like, he also, like, you do get some understanding of his psychology, and I think that's partially due to the performance. But he very much prefers his son Boromir over his younger son Faramir. And that's played by David Wyndham, and they really did a good job casting, because I could believe that he and Sean Bean are related.
They definitely have a good brother. Yeah, I mean, not only chemistry, because like Boromir does have that I will like protect you, look over you, and also instill within you our family name.
If
kind
you've
of thing.
Only seen the theatrical version, this cut scene being cut is a travesty. Honestly, like you don't get any relationship between Faramir and Boromir without it, really.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
But there is this very nice scene where Boromir is trying to talk up Faramir to his brother. It's to their father, rather. And he's like, oh, I know what Faramir is. He's a loser, and he sucks, and you're the best. So you're going to go and meet up with these ring people. So it's like right before the events of the last movie. And I don't know why we jumped to that first, because it does take a little bit for Faramir to come into the story. But
you love Boromir, man.
I do love Boromir.
He's your guy.
Oh, I remember. I was saying there is a world where the politic could be more focused on.
Oh yeah,
because the Gondor stewards, they, you know, especially John Noble's character, wants to remain in power. So like, there's
and there is a lot of that in the book. The movies kind of like cut out a lot of it because it's honestly kind of boring.
It can be boring in a movie. In a TV show, it can really work.
Yeah.
In a TV show,
because it's like it's the same as like the prequel Star Wars trilogy. You know, it's like they were very political and heavy-handed, and a lot of people were like, "This is boring as shit. We don't want the politics," you know. And it's like, put it into a TV show. Maybe it would have been fine. Maybe the people would have been praising the prequel storylines if they had done it as a TV show as opposed to 3 flashy films. I haven't rewatched them in a long time. It'd be very fun to do a playlist on that sometime.
Yeah.
But with the Two Towers, like, a lot of the changes they made, I think, were for the what's his name? One of the riders of the Rohan. Who's the Éomer?
Well, you're talking about why can't I think of his name now?
Karl Urban.
Yeah, Karl Urban's character, right?
Is he? Yeah, he's the one that comes back with Gandalf at the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
but
in the books, he is at the battle the whole time.
Oh,
he never leaves once they get Theoden, the king.
Yeah.
Back to normal. Played Theoden in the movies, played by Bernard Hill. Whoa, Kevin Conway. Oh no, I read that wrong. I thought it was. It says Kevin Conway was offered the role,
Batman,
and I thought Kevin Conroy, and I was like, whoa! I was like, that would have been so cool. No, Conway, a different guy. But no, like in the books, Éomer is he's at the battle the whole time. But I think the change of, him going of Gandalf coming back with him at the end is so fucking good. Like it's a great moment.
It's like one of the best Deus Ex Machina moments.
In
film. And they set it up pretty well too.
Oh yeah.
So let's get back into what's going on here. Talking about Éomer. We find out because they ride up on Aragorn and the crew. This
we finally got back.
I guess
to that.
it's just the three of them. Isn't it? It's just Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas.
Yeah.
And they ride up. The riders of Rohan ride up on them, and they're like, "Hey, who the fuck are you? Are you fucking Darkkin or whatever?" Whatever they call them in this.
Yeah, they all have a good Mexican standoff where there's just swords and bows pointed at everybody.
Right. And they explain that they were looking for their friends and that they were abducted by the orcs. The pile of them is where the helmet that Viggo broke his toe on came from.
Yeah, exactly. Because they go there to find Merry and Pippin.
That's right.
Only to discover that, it's very likely that they were killed.
Right. And the riders of Rohan
anger comes.
Only kind of confirm that, and then they kind of ride off. And they're upset about it. That's why then they find some sort of trail that leads into the forest. And
it's the most
this
ridiculous
forest
thing.
is supposed to be haunted. Or it has some kind of like ancient protection or something.
Yeah, the trees. There's something about the trees, man. The trees move and talk and protect themselves. Fangorn Forest, I think. Yeah, and it's just ridiculous though when Aragorn finds the trail. Like, I get it. He's expert tracker. That is the Ranger's thing. And I'm totally willing to believe it. I'm not at all gonna demerit the movie for this, but it's just so funny having him like look at the ground and being like, a hobbit lay here because of like 3 broken blades of grass in the middle of a battle scene where like thousands of blades of grass were broken. And then he finds like half of a belt and he's just like,
I thought he found one of those brooches they got from the elves or something.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did find that. And he found the ropes around their wrists, and he was like, their bonds were cut.
Yeah. He can tell everything. What a nose
they crawled
that
over
one.
Here. They crawled over here. He picked his nose behind this blade of grass.
He dug a little too deep.
I was about to say a little bit of tinkle came out of them during this moment.
But anyhow, they find their way in there, and while this is happening, you do get it jumps back and forth to the story with Merry and Pippin, where they run away. They do get pursued by a hungry goblin, and I guess he's an orc. I don't know. Tolkien.
It's hard to tell.
Pin down. But
I'm so sorry.
He's the one who says, I'm pretty sure, they don't need the legs, or something like that. Yeah. I wonder, like, I've always wondered if it was Eric Idle.
I know, right?
But
they don't need the legs.
They don't need the legs.
I love you. Well, okay, a little bit of a technical dookie-doo.
Yeah, we're probably going to sound a little bit different, but we do know where we left off.
Do we?
Yeah.
They're taking the Hobbit size of it? That's right, yeah.
So, Merry and Pippin are in this forest being chased down by an orc, right?
Yes.
Eric Idle.
Yeah, maybe.
He's not. I'm sure it's not.
Not at all. Quite possibly, though.
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
Third cousin. Twice removed. On his auntie side.
England is an island. Part of an island, I guess, to be fair.
I mean, if you want to say that, all America's an island. Sorry,
yep.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, somebody just said that last night.
Really?
Yes. I think it was Sarah, actually. She said...
It's a true thought.
I don't know what came before it, but I think the person we were hanging out with said, it has water all around it. It's an island. And then Sarah said... All the continents are islands, too.
That's true, honestly. Yeah. It really is. All continents are just big-ass islands.
So we left off with Merry Pippin going into the forest, chasing down by Eric Idle, and then Eric Idle gets squashed out of nowhere.
By a giant-ass tree. Off of whose nose Merry is hanging. No, Pippin is hanging.
Yeah, that's right. Wait. Because it almost got Merry, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe. One of them.
Yeah.
They're the same.
Someone will correct us.
Yeah. Post it on the podcast for Merry and Pippin. Not our podcast. Go to their podcast. Post it there.
No, please comment on our podcast.
Comment on our podcast that you commented on their podcast and at them so that they get annoyed by the notifications. And come and check out our podcast.
That's what we want. Yes.
Yeah. I want them to be like, who the fuck are these people? And then they come in and are just like, all right, maybe I kind of want to hang out and join them on their podcast for one day.
Oh, man. Don't do that.
No, it's a shout out. I want them on our podcast.
I do want them on our podcast.
It'd be amazing.
I don't want to annoy them. Gosh, we'll scroll up a little bit.
Why aren't they at the top and bottom in the middle area? Why are they top?
Because
that's Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan.
Yeah, that's right.
Put above Legolas.
Well, you know what? They have whole scenes
and above Christopher Lee.
Them.
Christopher Lee should have been at the top of the list.
Christopher
Just
Lee,
out of respect.
Honestly, might be less in this movie than the previous movie.
Was it this movie, though, where he made the comment to Peter Jackson that that's not what a stabbed man sounds like?
It might be.
Have you heard this
A lot
story?
more people, yeah, I have, but I didn't know that it was to Peter Jackson.
Yeah, because he made us, well, it might not have been Peter, maybe it was to someone else on set, but it was just like, that's not the sound a stabbed man would make. It was just like, Jesus.
Man. Yeah, if you don't know, Sir Christopher Lee was Sir Christopher Lee before he became an actor, I believe.
Yeah, he was in he fought in the
honors. In military battle.
He was a spy, wasn't he?
He was also a spy. Yep. So, and then he played one in the Man with the Golden Gun.
Golden Nugget. That's right.
The Man with the Golden Nugget. Yeah. That's right.
James Boyd.
Billy Boyd.
Peregrine Took. Mariotic. Brandy Buck.
10 plates.
Hell yeah. They met an Ent.
The
Ent.
Named Treebeard.
Yeah, he voiced by Gimli, which is great. Beautiful stuff. Which you didn't realize.
I never noticed it was John Rhys Davies.
It's the exact same voice. He did barely even change it.
He does, he does...
Fire! Wind! Yeah, he does he slows himself down.
He does this breathing thing, too. I don't know if that's all him or effects as well. But as a kid,
smoked a big cigar before it.
As a kid, I thought it did sound like Gimli, actually. Yeah. But I also just didn't connect that it was John Rhys Davies. But
that's fair.
One of the few action figures I had from this film was of Treebeard.
Hell yeah.
And we also had a Frodo.
Nice.
And, Sting glowed in the dark.
It
glowed.
I smoked a Treebeard once. That was
fun. Did you?
But no, Treebeard, he doesn't understand Merry and Pippin. He's never met
baby orcs.
hobbits. Yeah, he calls them baby orcs.
Yeah.
Because, they're humanoids. He's being racist, but it's fine. Yeah. Shapist? Speciest?
Well, he
humanoidist?
He maybe.
Humanoidist?
Well, he might be considered humanoid. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean,
he's a plant.
No, I meant like Treebeard is being to them because he's misidentifying them as orcs.
Yeah,
it's like he's humanoidist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I was questioning whether or not he himself was a humanoid.
Oh no, he's a giant ass plant. Yeah. Well.
So anyhow, he decides not to kill them.
Yeah,
and after to take them to the White Wizard.
Exactly.
And they're like, "Oh fuck, we're going to the White Wizard," and that's when
they could only mean Saruman, man. Yeah. They're scared.
Exactly. And I guess that's the news that gets to Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli.
Yeah, Limley,
yes. Mm-hmm. And so they, Gimligorn.
Oh, I don't like that. We do not need to include. He does not need to be the unicorn here. Like Aragorn is his own.
You're right. They're a couple.
Yeah. Limley is the ship named. Okay, I would assume
Limley is pretty good.
Legolas is just Gimlis. Gimlis is all right.
Gimlis. Yeah,
Limley.
It don't matter.
Limley's better.
Yeah, Limley's better. So Limley, they learn of this along with Aragorn. Then that's where the famous line of Legolas being like,
"They're taking the hobbits to Isengard." I love it.
So they rush into the forest and they come upon the White Wizard.
Yeah. They're scared, man. It's a good scene. I love that scene because it's like, it's very flashy. Mm-hmm. Aragorn immediately can't fight because his sword is like hot in his hand, and he's just like, "What the fuck?
What's going on?"
Legolas's arrow just shatters. It's cool. It's good shit.
It's good stuff.
And you're like, "Holy fuck! Nobody can stand against Saruman."
Yeah, and the voice effects that they chose to do was fun as well. Which is just like both Christopher Lee and get into it. I mean,
the big reveal.
Ian McKellen's voice wavering back and forth.
Yeah, and so is the color too. Like if you look closely, it's not it is white. There is obviously white to it, but there's a lot of colors in there. It is a little bit.
Maybe they were referencing Saruman of the Many Colors because they didn't actually do that in the movie.
Yeah, because it's it obviously they do call him Gandalf the White. Yeah, and he is credited as that, I think, too. But it's just if you look, it could also just be because I'm fucking have astigmatism or something. Maybe I'm just seeing colors.
It's a bright light.
Yeah, it's very bright.
There's a prism.
Yeah.
You get the rainbows.
A little bit. Not as flashy, but, it's great still.
Right.
Yeah.
It's mostly white. And that is how the robe was described as well.
Yeah.
And how Saruman achieved that are those little tiny pigment crystals. Mm-hmm. That, they look taupe on one side. And then when you move around, they're iridescent.
You fucking with me?
No,
I don't remember this.
It's not in the book or anything.
Oh, okay.
But this stuff does exist.
Oh, okay.
All right, so back to the plot. It is Gandalf. He's back. Yay! And they say, "We thought you were Saruman.
You fell."
Yeah, you fell. Blah, blah, blah. And he said, "I am Saruman, or how Saruman should be, or something." And, so...
Good shit, man.
Yeah, Gandalf is back.
Yeah, he went through a crazy battle with a Balrog.
Right. Oh yeah, that's actually how the movie opens.
Yeah, it's great. I fucking love it.
Yeah, it is, and it makes you like when you've never seen the movie or read the books before. When you come back to watch the Two Towers after watching the Fellowship of the Ring, it's like, oh no, not again.
Yeah, you gotta watch Gandalf fall, and you get even more of it because you get to see like the big chasm underneath the mountain and everything.
Right.
Where the Balrog's kingdom was, basically.
Right. So obviously, I'm just gonna put it out there, Gandalf is Jesus.
Yay!
Yeah.
Praise him.
Praise Gandalf.
Praise be.
Yeah.
White Jesus.
Praise be. We shall pass with Gandalf. So, Gandalf, yeah, I don't, at that point, he's like, we gotta go to Rohan.
Yeah.
I don't exactly remember why.
Well, he just remembers that, like, that's, he knows that Merry and Pippin will be fine with the Ents.
With the Ents, yeah.
And then he's like, Rohan's fucked right now because their king's possessed by Saruman.
By Siru.
Syrup Man.
Yeah, and so Syrup Man has indeed possessed Theoden, king of Rohan.
Yes.
Who played Theoden again?
It was Bernard Hill.
And I'm trying to remember what I know him from.
And not Kevin Conroy.
Not Kevin Conway either.
Nor Kim.
But what do I also know?
Titanic.
That's it.
The captain. The captain.
I just watched that all the way through.
Why?
For the first time recently.
Really? Oh, for the first time recently?
Yes.
But not first time ever?
No.
Okay.
I watched most of it. Like, I think, we had the 2 VHS set.
Hell yeah, sorry.
And
there's
only like a half an hour to 45 minutes or something in the last bit.
Yeah,
it's all the shit. So when the intermission came, the group of people that I was with decided to stop watching it. So this group of people was this girl that I was dating at the time, and also my cousin who was her best friend. And so, I may have been a dummy and was, being, lovey-dovey, cuddling. And eventually my cousin turns on the lights and is like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm right here. Anyhow.
First time recently, like years ago?
No, that was the first time I tried to watch it. But we stopped after the intermission.
I see.
We stopped at the intermission probably because my cousin was uncomfortable.
I understand.
And it is a very long movie. And we broke up before we watched the rest of it.
You broke up before the intermission ended. You're like, awkward.
No, but it was like 2 weeks later. Oh boy.
Well,
high school.
What happens next? Oh yeah, they go to Rohan. The trio, Aragorn and Limley, head off to save Rohan, while Merry and Pippin try to talk the Ents into taking down Isengard.
Right, but
there's more to it.
I do want to say that Treebeard plans to take them back to the Shire.
Shire, yep.
Yeah, and at first they're like, yeah, we'll go back to the Shire.
Yeah, but
the more they think about it, that's not what they want. They want help. And they don't know how to do that.
And there's also, they know, I can't remember how, but they know that the army of Isengard has left. They've gone to fight Rohan. And so the Isengard is just wide open.
That's right.
And they know this is a great time if they can rally all of these gigantic fucking tree people to get off their lazy, slow asses.
Treebeard says we'll consider it.
Yeah, we'll have an Endmoot.
Yeah, and just to get through this storyline, because it is quite separate to the rest of the movie. They do eventually meet with the Council of Ents or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and they're like swaying, and that's how they talk.
Yeah, and they have a whole fucking 5 hours just to say hello.
Yes.
And it's clearly pissing off Merry and Pippin.
And basically Treebeard comes back and is like, well, we've decided to do jack shit.
Yeah. I love the first part is just like, well, we've decided you are not orcs.
Oh, that's right.
And they're just like, you've been talking for ages. And it's just, well, it takes us a while, you know. We're slow people.
We lived for thousands of years, dude.
Come on, bruh.
And so
funny shit.
Anyhow, they trick Treebeard into going past
Yeah.
Isengard.
Yeah, where he sees the wreckage of trees and everything. It's awful.
They cleared all the
Sad.
forest, and there's this scene with Saruman when he's trying to build the army. And I guess the way that orcs work is they are forged in the ground. Forged.
Have we only been talking for 15 minutes?
We haven't gotten that far into the movie. So
They're forged.
They're forged in the ground, and they come out of these nasty sack shits. And that was in the last movie.
Yeah, it's
but
gross.
In order to build more, he has the orcs burn down basically a quarter of the forest.
A lot of the forest. It takes a lot of energy to mine this shit, to womb the earth into giving out orcs.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but it's and they used to be elves at one point, so I don't fucking know.
There's a whole past to it. It makes
but
no sense.
it has something to do with Morgoth, and then also
he's
with
syrup man.
With Sauron, but I don't know.
Yeah, he pours his essence into the earth and pulls out men.
I guess so.
Well, those orcs, while they're gone and the trees are finally, eventually they're like, all right, I guess we gotta do
killed
something.
our tree friends.
We gotta do something about this. There's a beautiful, awesome battle scene at Isengard.
The Appalachian Mountains.
Hey, now. They finally decide to do something. I love that scene. There's a lot of good cinema, CGI. The trees running in are so, it all looks well. It holds up.
Yeah.
22 years later, good shit. Really, really fun.
It's pretty good.
My favorite one, if you're interested, my favorite Ent is the one that runs in with his head on fire and
pretty cool.
douses it in the water that's coming from the dam. Spoilers, they flood they break the dam.
They flood Isengard and trap Sauron in the tower.
Saruman,
you're right, Saruman. Sorry.
You said Sauron.
Sauron, the other tower is Sauron's tower with the eye.
Yeah, he's mad. He's flaming out. He's like, wah!
Yeah,
he's getting pissed.
Anytime Frodo touches the ring, you get to see it.
And all the while, you can assume, they don't really show this in the movie, but I don't even know if it's in the books, but you can assume Saruman, while he's trapped in his tower, is just up there with that little orb thing that connects him to Sauron, just being like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And he's just he goes crazy while he's by himself. I mean, hell, there's fucking little orcs down below smoking his weed, Merry and Pippin. They find his weed and just start smoking it like crazy.
Goddamn baby orcs.
That's a fun scene. It's deleted from the theater, I think. I've never seen the theater version. I've only ever seen the extended version. Yeah, I don't watch the theater versions. They're not fun to me. I want it all.
Yeah. I mean, this one particularly, I think, suffers from. We talked about that before.
Yeah. You were telling me a lot of the stuff when we were watching it. You were like, "This is the lead scene." I was just like, "Oh yeah, it makes sense." And the weed scene is one that's the lead, and it's so fucking good.
It's so good.
Why?
Yeah, they find Longbottom Leaf, which is from the Shire, and they're like, "Holy fuck, we're gonna get high as balls."
Yeah, we're just gonna smoke in Saruman's pantry and eat all of his delicious food, which they hadn't had food for so fucking long. They're hobbits. They've been away with,
they've been living off of the bark off of Treebeard's nose. And
much.
Yeah.
And then Treebeard comes by the door and there's smoke pouring out, and he's like, what's going on down here?
Hobbits are peculiar.
Are you smoking, my cousins? Well, anyways.
They've been dead for a long time.
going to the Aragorn and Limley and Gandalf. You know, they go off to Rohan. They save the king from possession.
That's right.
And then once they've saved him.
Well, we got to talk about
Brad Dourif,
Rimward.
Yeah, Wormtongue.
Wormwood.
Wormtongue.
It's Wormtongue. It's definitely Wormtongue. Wormwood is the stuff that makes you hallucinate.
The voice of Chucky. Yes.
Yeah, the voice of Chucky, and this is one of my favorite roles of his because he is exactly what the character needed.
Yeah.
And he's just this gross little man.
Oily.
Oily but that's almost like saying swarmy in my opinion.
That's fair.
That word? Yeah.
Yeah, not.
Yeah. But anyhow, he is, we'll say that he's also got a silver snake tongue that's been helped by Saruman, his true master.
Oh yeah.
And that is how he and Saruman have possessed Theoden King.
Yeah.
But he has been using his position to get his, enemies expelled, that being the Riders of Rohan. And, he's been trying to get his freak on with the niece of Theoden.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Éowyn.
Éowyn.
Miranda Otto.
She looks like people. She's fantastic in this movie.
Yeah.
And I guess it could have been Uma Thurma, but she rejected it.
Uma Thurma? Sorry. I won't.
Uma
Thurman. Uma Thurma.
Uma Thurma, the brand new product to keep your Umos warm.
I'm sorry, I said that and I just saw you would hit a brick wall. You're
like, what?
What? Oh man, I'm sorry. But anyways, he's trying to get his.
Can't fucking read.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But no, Grima's trying to get his freak on with her. Not working at all. She's not interested. Whatever. But in comes Gandalf, Aragorn, and Limley. They take back the world. They kick out Grima. Grima runs off with his tail between his legs, quite literally. He's a Wormtongue.
Grima is also just the worst name to give.
Yeah, grimy. Tolkien's not the greatest of naming people, but he tried.
Well, he's got Gimli, son of Gloin.
That's a good one. Gollum. Gollum is the because of the sound he makes, but it's just who makes that kind of a fucking sound?
Andy Serkis.
I know, Andy did. Well, just back in the what is it, when he wrote this? 20s?
He was probably imitating a very particular cough, like a TB cough,
a smoker's cough.
Yeah. But back in his day, a lot of people still had tuberculosis. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it could be that.
The sound of the iron lung. It was gold. Andy Serkis got it wrong.
Oh my god. You should have asked Christopher Tolkien.
Yeah. Christopher Lee.
Yeah, Christopher Lee would have known. He said, well, he's very clearly imitating the sound of the iron lung. And I'm sorry that I'm not British. But, yeah, okay. Where the fuck were we again? So they expelled Grima. Theoden reverse ages.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah. He's now a capable man.
It's really honestly kind of stupid, but at the same time, I'm
but
fine
I love
with it. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah. It's definitely to continue the Jesus allegory, Gandalf's moment of hey, here's one of my miracles.
I cast the demons out of whatever the fuck his name is.
I gave him back the years he lost.
Yeah. Jesus casting the demons out of who was that?
I don't remember.
Lazarus. No, he brought him back from the dead.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So I say so a lot. And
I say like and like and yeah.
And I say a lot.
Yeah. We criticize ourselves. It's not healthy.
No.
I learned that from my therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Seek therapy, everybody. You're crazy.
I probably need it.
They decided they're going to write off to, what is it called? It's the Battle of Helm's Deep. That's what it is.
That's right.
I can never remember
they're
Helm's
not going
Deep.
to be able to withstand the
and Helm's Deep is a good siege area. Your walls are very strong.
Oh yeah.
And there's only one weakness. It's just like the Death Star.
Beautiful medieval fantasy.
I mean, literally, I'm starting to make so many Star Wars references. I know it's not needed whatsoever, but it literally is the Death Star, like the Helm's Deep, because it's like they have one weakness, and the only way to get there is to run along one path all the way up there, and then throw one tiny bomb into one hole. And like, even though they're shooting all these arrows at him, they can't hit poor Luke Skywalker because he's got the motherfucking Force when he dive bombs in there with his fucking bomb and blows everything up.
And this orc also has the Force of gunpowder.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. He takes a lot of arrows, man. He takes like 2 arrows from Legolas.
Yeah.
It's very Boromir, like, but he doesn't fall down like a wimp.
The man took 3 arrows. And they were huge.
They were huge. They were huge. Yeah, that's true. That orc kept running, though.
He did.
He's like, I got gunpowder in this here barrel, and he just like runs and blows up Helm's Deep. It's a great scene. Like the Battle of Helm's Deep, fucking phenomenal. Like whenever I tell people that I like the Two Towers more because of that, it's a better adaptation. At the very least, it's a better adaptation of the 3 because the Battle of Helm's Deep is so fucking good. That's like some of the best cinema ever. Like it's dark as hell. Like it's really hard to see shit.
Oh, but compared to some shit they put out nowadays,
that's
fuck
true.
that. You could see it.
and it even has underlying like hilarious comedic bits. Like there's a moment where obviously you got Limley, Legolas and Gimli, who are counting how many people they've killed and screaming it out across the battlefield, trying to outbeat each other, and how many people they've murdered. Well, it's not murder; it's war. It's war, damn it.
Let's not get into semantics.
We won't get it. Yeah, it's fantasy, anyways.
It's still murder.
Orcs aren't people.
No, it's murder. And in fact, if we're going to put D&D in this episode at all, these 2 characters are the definition of murder hobos.
Oh yeah, they love it, man. They love it. That's what gets them going. They get freaky after the war. But yeah, they're counting off battles, that kind of shit. There's another comedic bit, which is my favorite. It's the moment of when the orcs are climbing up the ladder and they cut one of the ladders and it's falling back and you can hear one orc yell, "What the hell?" And it's so good. Like it's just so stupid. I'm just like,
he's like, I made it to the top and now this.
Oh, my life. First my wife leaves me, then I gotta march 50 miles across the goddamn
after forging 50 men.
Such bullshit. And there's, of course, a Wilhelm scream and all the good shit. Like,
everything a battle scene needs.
Yeah, you need it. It's good stuff, man.
So, they literally got everything.
Yeah.
They got a fucking fortress.
Yeah.
They got swords.
Bombs.
Bombs. Bows and arrows.
Pointy ears.
Pointy ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, gross people that you're able to see as not people.
Yeah. And not a lot of diversity on the people of the Helm's Deep side.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
A lot of CGI white people in there.
Of the same sin.
It's not that bad. But it is something you kind of notice when you watch these back. There is not a lot of diversity in the Middle Kingdom.
Right. And like, that is kind of something that I think that the fantasy community as a whole has kind of come into terms with, is that
we can't just keep on villainizing the different characters in there, because we're substituting, we're making them a different species.
Yep.
But they're still people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I do respect, but yeah, that is one thing these films definitely do hurt front with tiny bit. Like it's still great cinema.
These people also, to be fair, these people were literally pulled out of the ground to do this.
Oh yeah.
In the film. Anyway.
I'm just talking about like the whole white side of the film.
Yeah. There needs to be diversity.
Yeah.
In
there's definitely many shots where you go through like all of the elves, and I'm just like,
no black elves. I guess.
It's a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's not whatever, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the scene itself is still fabulous.
It's an awesome battle.
If you were rating this, if you were rating everything of all the scenes of Lord of the Rings in general, I'm sure most people would have this Battle of Helm's Deep in the top 5 or top 10. It's the best, one of the best scenes in the entire trilogy. It's so good. And it's long as shit. It's a long battle, which is great because it has a lot of gravity, a lot of weight. But then on the other side of things, after you got the battle and all the aftermath of that, then you got Sam and Frodo.
Yeah, and I think maybe we'll take a soda pop break and then get back to Sam and Frodo.
Yeah, I agree.
So we talked about it kind of how it is in the book, didn't we?
Shit.
We'll be right back.
Life imitates art. It's the other way around, isn't it? Art imitates life. I love you. Frodo and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And Gollum.
Gimli. Yes. So this is really the movie where Gollum is.
It's all right.
Produced.
Forgive that.
This is really the point where Gollum is introduced in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's played by Andy Serkis, who we mentioned, doing awesome things to basically pioneer mocap.
Yep, it's amazing. Which is motion capture for those...
Yeah, for those noobs out there.
Those losers.
We suck.
Yeah, my mom was just like, what the fuck? I didn't know what mocap was.
Sorry, Doma. Hey, Doma. Love you.
Love
Thank
you.
For your warm greetings that your child brought to me.
Yeah. And thanks for sending me the recipe for these cookies.
Yeah, we are eating... Well, that's the dog eating. The gross sounds.
Yeah, my cookies are crunchy. They're not that crunchy. I forgot eggs.
So we are back with... we already said that part, but Frodo and Sam. They keep on going towards Mordor.
They finally,
they get in trouble along the way and whatever.
Yep.
But one of the things is that Gollum, the previous holder of the ring, this being previous to Bilbo, attacks them trying to take the ring. Sam saves Frodo from Gollum, and then they decide to take him along.
Yeah, for a little while using elven rope just to pull him along. Mm-hmm. He hates that kind of stuff, elvish rope, so it burns him. Mm-hmm. It burns! It freezes! It's beautiful stuff. Yeah, eventually they do get him to a point where he swears allegiance to the ring to take them where they want to go. Frodo is the wielder of the ring, and he loves the ring. Gollum does. It's his precious.
Yes. Frodo at this point has not leaped over the edge of loving the ring.
No, not yet.
But...
Well, thankfully he doesn't leap over the edge. But Gollum does, though.
Gollum does. Right on top of him, trying to get that bastard ring.
I guess Frodo does technically leap over the ledge, but...
That's later.
Yeah. I mean, so does, but,
Yeah.
He doesn't,
He doesn't do it on purpose.
Yeah. And he doesn't, leap. Mm-hmm. He's not that brave.
It's more like a trip.
Yeah. And he catches himself like a wimp. I mean, a savior. Like a hero.
Like a hero.
Like a boss.
They decide to take Gollum along.
as a guide to Mordor because he's actually been there.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of the things that happens along the way is that Frodo, sympathizes because he knows what it is to carry the ring.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's a heavy burden.
And he remembers Gandalf telling him Gollum's true name, Sméagol.
Sméagol!
And
which is Hobbitish.
It's Hobbitish, and they come from the river folk, it is believed. Gollum hasn't heard this word uttered in a long time.
Yeah.
And he, I don't believe this splits his personality, but he does have a split personality.
Yeah, there's a beautiful scene with that too.
There is a lot of really good scenes.
Yeah.
And Andy Serkis does it so well.
Yeah.
It's all about tone because the voice is the same.
And the best part is too, it's like, they set the cameras up at different angles so they can catch the different personalities, but he just well, I would assume. I guess you don't know, but I assume he just did the whole scene where he was just switching back and forth because he can do it. I've seen him in an interview doing it at least.
Yeah. He definitely did it at the reading table.
Yeah.
Gollum, then, to me anyways, Gollum, then his two personalities are then named Sméagol and Gollum.
Yeah.
Gollum being the one who is more aggressive and seeks the ring at any cost.
Yeah.
Sméagol,
very timid,
and is going along with Gollum because Gollum has more authority than him.
Right. And he's more compassionate, specifically to Frodo.
Yes.
And he's willing to tolerate Sam Sméagol.
Right. Sméagol loves Frodo because Frodo recognized him as a person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he pulled him out.
Right.
Yeah, and there's this... The great scene I'm talking about is, and that you're talking about too, there's a moment at the lake where Frodo and Sam are sleeping and Sméagol has this conversation with himself, him and Gollum.
Yeah.
And it's a back and forth where it ends with Gollum basically banishing, or Sméagol basically banishing Gollum.
Yeah.
And being like, I'm free.
Yeah. And even the syntax of his sentences changes.
Yeah.
Like he starts referring to himself as Sméagol.
Yeah.
And when he is the split personality, which is strange because he's aware, like they converse with each other.
Yeah.
So that's not usually how it works in the real life, I guess.
Yeah, I would assume it's more along the lines of how just the ring has fractured him as a person.
Exactly. He was his only company.
Yeah.
It's maybe this is more of what might happen to a hermit.
Than
somebody with I think it's DID, dissociated
identity
disorder.
Yeah.
So he banishes them away, but before that, it was always us and we.
Yeah.
An hour, too.
Right.
Well, except for Precious. They both were
precious.
my precious.
My precious.
Yeah. Because both of them believed it belonged to them, I think.
Fair.
Or maybe that was always Gollum who said that.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows?
That's interesting.
Who knows?
But
he eventually banishes them and starts, actually kind of trying to help. Well, banishes Gollum, sorry, does, and he starts to actually help Sam and Frodo, actually saving them from making a stupid decision and going right through the front door.
That's right.
Of Mordor.
He leads them to Mordor,
right?
And they start to go, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
and it's like, "You led us here, dude."
Yeah, what did you fucking think we were doing? Like, we're going through the front fucking door.
You'll take it right to him.
Yeah. And he gets an idea, probably Gollum, thinking about it first. Way deep in the darkness of his mind, because right now Gollum's supposedly banished, but he gets the idea there's another route we can go. It's scary.
Mm-hmm.
There might be, he doesn't mention it, but he's like, there might be a giant spider up there. But before they get there, they're captured by Faramir.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. which is a shock to Frodo and Sam because I mean they don't know Boromir died. They left before he got shot.
Right before.
Yeah, exactly.
And Faramir has gotten the news.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know how they did.
But his body came floating back.
Oh, that river runs to Gondor, huh?
You remember, there is a scene where they get his body back.
Well, they also were scouting.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So maybe they're the one that found it.
I just remember a scene where his body just comes floating down. I'm just like, fucking how? Like, he fell down a fucking waterfall.
I also thought they did the Viking thing and shot fire arrows. No.
No, they just pushed him down a river and he fell over a waterfall. And I was like,
right. Well...
But anyways, Faramir does tell them, he's like, "Oh, my brother died," and they're just like, "Oh shit!" I mean, he was cool up until the end. You know, we had fun with him.
He did try to take the ring. They do admit that to Faramir at some point.
Eventually, they do appeal to Faramir's, more compassionate side.
That's right,
which is good moments.
But first, Faramir threatens to kill Sméagol.
Yeah,
because Sméagol is apparently fishing in a sacred space.
Yeah, which is just honestly kind of bullshit in my opinion, just to get Frodo to do what he wants.
Yes, so Frodo was denying that Sméagol was with them.
Yeah.
Because I believe Sméagol is probably well known in the area.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I think he has been haunting the areas between Moria and Mordor since he's been tortured.
I think the reason, in my opinion, when I was watching it, is that he knows Faramir's trying to use Sméagol as leverage, and he's like, I can hurt this creature if he means anything to you.
Yeah.
And Frodo's like, I don't know that creature, and he's like, all right, we'll kill him. And he's like, okay, I know that creature.
Okay,
please don't shoot Sméagol. I can appeal to him. And I mean, he does. That's because Frodo hasn't told him about the ring or anything yet.
Right.
And then finally, Frodo tells him then and there. He's like, "All right, this is what we're trying to do."
Right.
And he's like, "Your brother thought it could be used as a weapon. It fucking can't."
Yeah, and Faramir still is tempted to do that because he is driven to try to please his father.
Yeah, you gotta please Daddy.
And
please, Daddy.
They get attacked by the Nazgul riding that
giant worm thing. Yeah,
it's not a dragon.
It's
is it a wyvern?
I
don't think it is.
Kind of like that.
But
kind of like that.
It's some kind of worm.
Blah 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 blah.
Nazgul.
A Nazgul. We'll just do this. Nazgul ride. That didn't help me. What did Nazgul ride? The fell beasts and hellhawks.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Shit. I thought they had a different name.
I guess maybe it's a fell beast, but I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Anyhow, they it does this awful screech that really did something to me. Pterodactyl, did it say that?
Where? Pterodactylic.
That's how Tolkien described it, I guess.
Pterodactylic. I love that.
This is what this thing is, except for it has a really long neck, but it's almost Lovecraftian,
Yeah. I mean, wyvern is a really good way to put it.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, also pterodactylic.
Yeah, it's a pterodactylic. And so it screeches, and that really that really scared me when I watched this as a young person. I was like, wow. And
I mean, especially seeing everybody's reaction too, because everybody immediately shrinks.
Right.
Frodo mainly because the ring's fucking him up.
Now, as a person who has been behind the camera, I wonder what they used, what folly they used for that. But anyhow, after this attack, and they lose this position, and Faramir barely gets out alive, he lets Frodo and Sam and Gollum go.
Yeah.
And this is after he watches Gollum split again.
Yeah. Go fucking crazy.
Yeah. And that's because they hurt him
Yeah, poor fucker.
Yeah, yeah.
You really feel for
Smeagol.
Smeagol
They
now.
didn't need to do that. No. They really didn't.
Yeah, you feel bad because you see that there is hope for this creature.
Yeah.
I already call him a creature. It's over for Smeagol. You see that there is hope that he could be saved.
By D&D rules, we're all creatures.
That's very fair. It's not wrong of me. But this ape, he is just trying to. I just try to go worse. he just
this long-footed ape,
this ugly monstrosity, this demon.
Sorry, Andy.
This circus. He tries to he tried to redeem himself. There's a hope, a moment of hope, but then he's broken at the end. He's been betrayed.
Gollum starts convincing Smeagol to go after the ring again.
He awakens, and he's like, you were already setting them up for the right path. You know who's up at the top? It's fucking Spider Queen. Yeah, good shit. Sets you up perfectly for the movie that won 11 fucking Oscars.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. This one won 2. I looked it up. I finally looked it up.
One story beat that we didn't talk about, which kind of sets up this love triangle thing in the third movie.
Oh yeah.
Is that, or maybe does that happen in the beginning of the third movie?
Eowyn and
Aragorn falling.
Yeah, it happens in this one. He comes back before Helm's Deep. It's not in the books.
Way to Helm's Deep. It's not in the books. No. That's interesting. Well, there's a way, on the way to Helm's Deep, they get attacked by orcs on warps, and eventually Aragorn falls off a cliff. But he lands in a river, floats down, and eventually makes his way to Helm's Deep.
It accomplishes nothing.
It does. There is some scenes, I believe they just wanted to get Elrond and Arwen in there.
Yeah, they wanted to further this triangle. They wanted to create more tension and get, in this one, Arwen basically says, I'm giving up, I'm going to wherever the fuck,
I'm going back to the continent that the elves originally came from.
Yeah. New world, old world.
No, it
hot world.
Starts with a V, but I don't remember. What? They're going back to the womb? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, I was thinking they're going to the vagina.
Oh, God damn.
Vermont!
They're going back to Vermont.
Going back to Vermont.
Oh, they're... Arwen, it's not going to be Valinor. Is that right?
Is that in here?
Departs for Valinor. Is that what it says?
Departs for Valinor. Yep.
Okay. Cool. That's what they're.
She reluctantly departs.
Did you know that there used to be a continent between Middle Earth and Valinor?
Fuck.
And one of the first 2 big wars is that got destroyed.
Was it Atlantia?
No, I don't remember what it was called. It started with an L though.
Lothlorien.
I think it might have been Lithadel or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But look it up.
Lidocaine.
That's right.
Lidocaine. The magical land of Lidocaine. Right. Come, enjoy our drugs.
But yeah,
1995.
You can find
please.
something on YouTube about that if you want, or read all the books.
Oh yeah,
including the appendixes and the Silmarillion.
Dude, I tried when I was a kid. I remember reading all the books and being like, "This is so good," and being like, "But there's still 200 pages left," and it was the appendix of book 3, and I was like, "Oh God." And I remembered as a kid, I'm like, I'm doing it. And I got I used to stay up. I had bad insomnia when I was a kid. And I would literally stay up until 3 or 4 in the morning with a flashlight reading a book. And I remember one night I was up until 3:30 just reading, and I only got 5 pages through because it was so dense. And it's like the Bible where it's just this fucker fucked this person and they beget this person. It's oh my goodness. And there's a lot of trees. There's a lot of ancestry trees. It really awakened
interest in genealogy.
Yeah, because I definitely want and I still want to this day. I don't want to give my money to Ancestry.com or my 23andMe or whatever.
23andMe is your DNA.
Yeah. I don't want to give people that kind of shit because who knows what they're using for.
Ancestry.com
they actually just go through records.
Yeah, and they can create a family tree for you, which is cool. I've always wanted to try it, but I don't want that. Who knows what the fuck that shit can awaken. But it's something that's always interested me because
of kings.
I know, yeah, I do come from a king of Ireland who was, I believe, banished. I've always told people he was banished because I remember reading that somewhere, but who knows if that's fucking true anymore.
I am apparently a descendant of Austrian merchants.
Awesome. Not Christ.
Not Jesus, no.
Are you sure about that?
They were Austrian. Come on.
Have you seen Jesus?
Jesus is not played by Ian McKellen. Okay?
Have you seen White Jesus? He could be.
Jesus is not played by Ewan McGregor, is what I meant to say.
That's fair. Yeah. No, he's played by Jim Caviezel. And so ends The Two Towers.
Yeah, let's do closing statements.
I love it. Like, it's great. It's not the best, honestly. Like, I know I say it's the best. It's the best adapted. And I've explained myself over and over again why that's the case. But I enjoy it. There's some boring stuff before the Battle of Helm's Deep. Boring stuff with Frodo and Sam.
There's some things that could have been cut and some things that
and I know people hate Treebeard and the Ants because it's so fucking slow.
I love them.
And I love them too. That's what I was getting at. Is like I remember watching this with a cousin who was just like, "Can we just fast forward?" And I'm like, "Fuck you!" Like
they talk so slow. Could at least be 1.5 speed.
It's so boring. It's just Gimli slowed down, and like whatever. Gollum, Gimli.
Gimli.
Precious.
Precious.
I give it 4 stars. I mean, they're all gonna get 4 stars. Spoilers, but like, it's fun. It's fucking great. Like, it's good shit, man.
Bubble movies.
Good fucking
Let
cinema.
the people do what they want to do with it.
I guess I will say, I've already mentioned complaints about like the diversity of the cast and everything.
Yeah.
I will say that the lighting of Helm's Deep, a little too fucking dark, but they had a lot of CGI. They didn't have thousands of actors showing up that they can throw into a battle scene.
Right. And honestly, there's probably not that many fortresses in New Zealand
that they can blow the fuck up.
Yeah. Or film in.
My closing statement is that it is another phenomenal movie. It's still one of my favorite movies. It doesn't rank as high, definitely, as The Fellowship.
Yeah. Or Us.
It gets a face and a half.
Nice.
Yeah, I love this movie. I will watch it anytime because I'll watch the whole trilogy anytime.
Right, yeah. Now, that is to say, if somebody were to be like, hey, do you want to watch The Two Towers? I'd be like, we gotta watch fucking Fellowship first.
We gotta watch this Fellowship.
But if somebody were to say, hey, you want to watch Return of the King, just to lead into our next episode, I might be like, I can watch it. If I watch Fellowship, I have to watch them all. I cannot watch Two Towers by itself.
I see.
I can watch Return of the King by itself.
I feel like I can watch The Fellowship by itself.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because I feel like that even though it ends at a very desolate moment, it still is very wrapped up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's more along the lines of once I start that journey, I need to see it through to the end.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think I ever have done that now that I think about it.
Right, yeah. I feel like every time I've started, it's like, well, I'm in for the finish line now.
That's right.
Like, but Return of the King, you'll find out. We'll be back
soon.
Next week, maybe?
I don't know.
We're shooting for the moon.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if I said it or not in the beginning of this recording. We were listening, but we were talking to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I worked a show.
Yeah.
And I apologize that it took literally my life away.
Yeah.
But if you've ever heard of the Nutcracker, it's always a big deal.
Yeah, man.
Particularly where I work.
I watched the Game Grumps regularly, and they played a Christmas find and seek game where they had to find the Nutcracker in one of the find and seeks, and it was very clear where it was. It's very obvious because it's a Nutcracker.
Yeah,
they only have one fucking look.
Yeah,
and Aaron is pointing at every single thing that is not a Nutcracker. And like, you know, it's a wooden Santa doll, and he's just like, it's a nutcracker. And it's like, not every fucking wooden doll with a mouth like that is a nutcracker. The nutcracker looks like the fucking soldier guy. Like, pissing me off, man. He does it on purpose, I swear.
Yeah, was it pissing off Danny too, or does he not know?
Danny couldn't find it, but Danny was laughing.
Okay.
Because I feel like Danny within himself was just like, that's not a nutcracker. Like, I mean, sure, they all have like similar looks, but like the nutcracker is the nutcracker.
It's the nutcracker. But anyhow, we did a totally brand new version of it. And if you wanted to see it, it's already closed. That's why I'm available to record for podcasts.
Hey!
But they will be doing the same show next year and the year after that, and for as long as they think they can milk the money out of this set. At the Musical Arts Center in the Bloomington campus of IU. I guess I'll rep that because I put a lot of work into like making it.
You'd be proud of what you did.
Yeah. And it became a pretty cool show, I think.
And
you better like projections.
Yeah. And no, just because we said your name, IU, we will not give you money.
No, give us money.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Put us on your radio or something.
Thank you for employing me.
That's fair. Yeah, you do have to tread lightly. I don't. Stop calling me. I'm not giving you money.
They do?
Maybe
they don't call me because I'm employed.
Maybe, yeah. They want my alum shit. It's like, you're an alumni. And I'm like, fuck you.
It's like, no, I'm an employee. Yeah. I'm making my tuition
Forget
back.
my student loans and we'll talk.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, you?
No, they already got their money.
They already got their money.
Yeah. So that's the show.
Yeah, thanks for everybody. It's very fun. We enjoy it. Yeah. Patreon.com/Green and Faceless. That's a thing. Check it out. Do the thing. Yeah,
please support us if you like this show.
Yeah. Like, comment,
if you
subscribe.
don't like the show,
like, comment,
recommend
subscribe.
it to your enemies.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we're a waste of time, think what that can do to the people who annoy you in your life.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Tell your boss.
All right. That's the show.
Thanks. I am the Green Traveler from Gouache.
And I am La Faceless Leon. Safe travels.
And good night. Au revoir.
Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.